I had the bullhorn. I mean, it was great. I got this on YouTube as well. And ever since then, I was confronting politicians, doing my own radio shows. I've been on radio shows all over the country. And
it's an example of taking action.
Exactly.
It's waiting for you. Give us the daily quote.
This is a quote of the day, but this is very relevant to what's going on today. Especially take Obama, put him in your head for a minute. Okay, this is from Big Brother slogan from George Orwell's 1984. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Now, Obama preaching war, 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 war. Wins a Nobel Peace Prize. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Okay, he's going around, you have to kill the Second Amendment. You have to kill the First Amendment. You have to kill the Constitution. We have to submit to the New World Order. That's what Obama wants. That's war is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. And he wants you to be ignorant because it strengthens these scumbags from the elite. And Alex, I mean, I just can't say enough. I mean, I'm so happy that you gave me the opportunity to be on INFOWARS.
Hey, great job, brother. And it was great having you do part of the news earlier. And then, you know, having you over there covering more of it. It was great having Sha'Carri Jackson here. And can't wait till the other reporters start getting in the next few days. God bless you. Great job.
Thank you, Alex.
You bet. Stay there. Folks, we're going to go to break. And we are going to come back with Mr. Whitehead, the head of the Rutherford Institute, with the latest breaking details on what happened with the Marine who was arrested for 9/11 Truth for his speech by the secret police who want this to be a chilling effect against us. Stay with us. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about a year and a half ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of longevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com. Sign up as a distributor and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. And welcome back to InfoWars Nightly News. For the last 4 days, we've been covering on the radio and on TV the case of Brandon Robb. Darren McBreen, one of our reporters, has now had a chance to talk to the lady who posted the video and the family. And sure enough, he is a listener. People that have talked to him say he's very intelligent, totally cogent, never talked about any violence. And we also have a prominent civil rights attorney joining us, the head of the Rutherford Institute, that tirelessly fights across the political spectrum for everyone's basic civil rights. He writes for a lot of big publications like the Huffington Post. John Whitehead is joining us. And as we speak, as of taping this for the Nightly News, and we may have updates by the time we go live in the first portion of the show, he's being walked down at the psychiatric facility to the lower floor to be released. A judge today, when the Rutherford Institute lawyers went before the judge and pointed out all the violations, did order him released. One reason this is also even more scary is I interviewed yesterday another talk show host who had no criminal record and, again, was a veteran, who said the hammer's coming down in America. I'm going to get more guns to protect myself. He didn't even post lyrics on his Facebook about sharpening axes. So by this benchmark, I could be grabbed. I mean, I've said that we're going into total tyranny. There's a county judge in Lubbock, national news today, said if the tyranny continues, they're going to have to resist a federal takeover. I mean, is he going to get arrested? I mean, this is in our Constitution and Bill of Rights, in the Declaration of Independence, that when the government becomes tyrannical, we have a right to organize and try to change it. And the government's massing with armaments against us. I don't want violence. But the point is, they're going to basically push us into it if they start like the Soviet Union disappearing us. But giving us the latest breaking info on this is a real champion for liberty. John Whitehead is an attorney and author who's written, debated, and practiced widely in the area of constitutional law and human rights. His concern for the persecuted and oppressed led him in '82 to establish the Rutherford Institute. So he also founded it, and Rutherford.org is the website, a great organization to support. He also serves as a member of the Constitution Project, bipartisan solutions to try to save our Constitution, which no one can deny now. It's just been chopped up in little pieces. They're now trying to throw it to the four winds. So, John, great to have you with us. Let's get into the case, but then I want to talk about your perspective on what's happening with the police state, the NSA, because you're a national recognized expert on that front. Tell us about this case, because you've now been on the inside of it. You came to Mr. Rob's aid and now vindicated that. Please break it down.
Well, it's one of those Orwellian kind of, if you want to use that term, last Thursday, I believe, about a week ago in the afternoon, he saw some cars pull up in his driveway. The police got out, and there were some plainclothes fellows. They turned out to be the FBI, some guy who supposedly was with the Secret Service. Brandon Robb was in his shorts. So he walked down the front porch and started talking to him, said, "Hey, what's up?" And they said, "Well, you've written some really controversial things on your Facebook post." And he said he was explaining to him. He said all of a sudden they just surrounded him, handcuffed him. He said, "Can I get my clothes?" They said no. They took him out to a police car, shoved him in the police car, took him to a mental institution where they held him. His mother, very, very good lady, she got on the internet and the Facebook and started screaming about it. And a veteran contacted me and said, "John, this is one of your issues, man. You need to contact the mother." So we called the mother, and she was distraught. She said, "I've called everybody." And she says, "Great to hear somebody wants to help." And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Tell me about the case." When she told me, I said, "This is nuts." He was quoting song lyrics in a private Facebook group called I think Dear Illuminati was the name of the group. It was his sister, his brother, and him. And so that's basically it. I mean,
so that's why there's an amalgamation of comments. But I mean, also, I've seen him grab people for other people's posts as well. I mean, go through what happened to him.
We get these high school kids now that we've helped. They will say a teacher's stupid. The public schools are actually watching kids' Facebook posts on their off hours. So this is a surveillance state. People say the coming surveillance state. I say, folks, it's not coming. It's here. I mean, I just wrote an article. If you go to our website, Rutherford.org, it's called The Corporate Surveillance State. It's on our cell phones. All these groups are giving over all this information to the government about what people text, what they say on their cell phones. So the government knows everything we're doing. But this is really strange. What happened? The police said, "We're not charging you with a crime, Brandon. You didn't commit a crime." But they handcuffed him and took him away. And when we called the police, they said, "We're not charging. He didn't commit any crime." So the FBI. So what they're saying is, under the civil commitment law in Virginia, they can pick you up. You haven't committed a crime. They can take you away and put you in a prison. And it's what I call the psychotherapeutic state. That's what we've entered. At least 20,000 people a year in Virginia are committed this way through the civil commitment, and most of them disappear. Across the country, you're looking at thousands upon thousands of people this is happening to. So we've moved in. Most people don't realize this is happening. The only reason we know is Kathleen Thomas, Brandon's mother, got on and started screaming about it, and we got involved, and we did a press release, and I said I was shocked, and we called reporters and got people, and good people like you, Alex, that are covering the story. The press really helped. But the amazing thing here is both the left and the right wing were shocked by this one. I mean, he targeted no one. So,
yeah, I mean, it was just general stuff.
The judge today ruled, he said there were no factual allegations to have this man detained at all. So I order him immediately released. So as I walked in the door of this interview, supposedly he was being led down to the lobby, and we hope he's out of the hospital and on his way home.
Well, clearly they're doing this as a chilling effect, because the Northeast Intelligence Network did a report. We contacted the guy. He does have a popular online radio show, and he just said that, you know, things are collapsing. We better buy more guns. I mean, they've had national surveys that's why Americans are buying 2, 3, 4 million guns a month. and saying it's because they're worried about civil unrest. And they came and grabbed him, same story, and said, we're not going to release you till you sign papers, admitting you've got problems, that you'll attend classes and give your guns up. So it's an extrajudicial, outside the system way to target people who they fear. And the profile is decorated, honorably discharged veterans. And we've seen the government say the veterans are the #1 threat. They're the new Al-Qaeda. That's in all the training manuals. And it's just so bizarre to see this happening. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I had several nights ago, I had large veteran groups, presidents of veteran groups, get me on the phone at home and say, John, our people are telling us the FBI is showing up. This is 9/11 truthers. He said veterans that are 9/11 truthers are getting contacted by the FBI. They're walking up, knocking on their door and investigating them. This is for free speech. So you said the word chilling? Yeah. What they want us to do is to shut up. They want us to go away. They don't want anybody questioning what the government's doing. And it doesn't matter who the president is, who the Congress is. There is a bureaucracy that's operating in the government. It operates autonomously. There's no rule of law over these people. Occasionally, you will have a good judge like we had in this case, a state judge, a circuit court judge who said, this is nuts. That's a rare occurrence. But then again, it takes someone like Rutherford Institute to get out there and challenge it. I mean, like I say, 20,000 people a year are civilly committed in this state. And what they told Brandon in his hearing Monday, this is great. He can never own a gun now, but the point is, this is key. He doesn't own a gun anyway. So,
yeah, he's done. I mean, he's been around guns enough, probably.
Case was, what's he going to do? Poke people in the eye? I mean, what are you talking about?
I'll tell you what, walk through this for us, then what you know happened at the first hearing, when you had a chance to talk to him. You talk about how cogent he was. I mean, obviously, because that's what I've talked to other veterans. You can have no criminal record, business owner. There's no judge or jury. It's these weirdo psychologists and psychiatrists who were put in there as political officers, like in the Soviet Union or Nazi Germany. I'm sorry, a lot of them are like that. And they've got an agenda. And they then, it's not even adjudicate. They just say as a secret star chamber, you can never have a gun again or whatever, or you're on a watch list now.
Well, to give you a real good example, this morning Brandon called me. He said, John, I'm freaked out. I said, what's wrong? Because he's really usually so relaxed. He said, a psychiatrist just visited me. And he said, I'm going to brainwash you. And I'm going to force medications on you. I'm coming back. So Brandon, who could call out, got his caseworker, and they called me. And he said, John, I'm frightened. So, but they have to have a court order for him to be forced.
Well, you know what the guy was doing? He was there to terrorize him so he would act out. Well, I mean, you're an expert, but I mean, tell us what happened.
Yeah, so at the hearing Monday, they cited some of the posts, and this is the amazing thing. Some of the posts they cited that they were concerned about were said by his brother Brent. They didn't even have their facts straight. So this is poor police work, and I think you said it right. I think that anybody today who speaks out forcefully against the United States government, you remember the Department of Homeland Security issued those memos, right-wing and left-wing extremists, and in those memos, as you noted, the word veterans were used. Veterans are seen as extremists now, and that's unfortunate. I don't understand that. Why we send people overseas to fight wars, and when they come home, we call them extremists, but that's what's happening. So I think veterans definitely are being targeted. I hear that from the veterans groups who are calling me now, and they're frightened.
Now, I interrupted you there, so I want you to start over word for word, please, sir. This is so important. They know that you're challenging it in court. It's all over the news last night. They know the hearing's coming up. From my gut, experiencing this and tracking it. But tell me if you think I'm wrong. But first, repeat, what you said with all the details, because it's such an important piece of evidence. They know they're going to lose because there's still somewhat of a constitution left. So if they can make him act out and freak out, they can Thorazine him up and say there was some event. Now, that's what my gut tells me was happening there. The guy comes in, tries to psychologically manipulate him. Start over, though. Break down the story and then tell me what you think was happening.
Well, what I think was happening, yeah, I think the reason they picked him up, it was, again, he was opposing the government verbally,